Before this episode starts, I would just like to put down a warning. This episode will contain stupid decisions by faithfuls, bad gameplay decisions by traitors, and an overwhelming sense of no one's going to win this series, or at least no one deserves to. Hey guys, welcome back to the Traitors Australia Season 2, and today we're going to be talking about Episode 7. Episode 7 was more enjoyable than any of the other episodes purely because I've resigned myself to the fact that the traitors have won. They've literally won the game, and there's nothing the faithfuls can do about it because they're just dreadful and they're horrendous, and they all really should be disappointed in themselves because they voted out every single person who has blamed Sam, and people still keep dying. The smoke is there. Go to the fire. Oh god, sometimes I really do worry about people when they play these games, because I must think, like, what is going on in your head? Why are you so certain that you are thinking one way? Right, let's not get distracted, let's not get angry, let's not get worked up, because I haven't even talked about breakfast yet. So without much further ado, let's get on with the video. So, the episode started with the question, did Camille accept the offer or not? Of course she accepted the offer. She'd be stupid not to. She knows that there's at least 2 traitors left. And I'm not being funny. If I was looking at the numbers, there's 8 people left. If I joined them, that means that there are 3 traitors, 5 faithful. And it's so easy to just manipulate everyone because no one is actually suspicious of anybody in particular. They're all just like, oh, I think it might be this person, I think it might be this person, I think it might be this person. No one's got any concrete evidence. The concrete evidence died when Simone was banished, when Annabelle was banished, and when Luke was murdered, and now Camille's become a traitor. They were the only people that suspected Sam and Blake. So like, so yeah, I kind of, as soon as Camille accepted it, I was like, okay, cool, the traitors have won. Let's just watch this episode knowing that's going to happen. Because I have no faith that any of the traitors will be voted out before the finale. I think they'll all make it to the finale, and then they'll split the money. Or if there's like some horrendous twist that's like split or steal, which I think would kind of, I don't know, it would be a bit shit. Because otherwise, like, what's the point of working together for the whole series? There's literally no reason for you to have multiple traitors if there's just going to be a split or steal at the end. Because there's actually just no point. Yeah. But, yeah. Either way, the traitors have won. So, good job, Camille. You're on the winning side at least. So Liam is blaming Keith. Keith is blaming Liam. Liam thinks Keith is suspicious because when Blake didn't turn up to breakfast, or at least he didn't turn up right away, Keith started to cry and be a bit upset, and Liam just thought it was a bit performative. No, it was actually just genuine emotion from the guy. And honestly, Liam, you actually might be the worst player here. But you also do take full responsibility for that. I think he said that he hasn't got a brain big enough for this game, which was quite funny. So, Liam, bless you. Yeah, you're not cut out for this game. I'm really, really sorry. But Blake did turn up to breakfast, which meant nobody died. And then that's when everyone was like, oh my god, Sam must have got murdered. Or they must have attempted to kill Sam. Someone floated the idea of there being a recruitment, but everyone kind of just went, no, it couldn't possibly be that. What are you talking about? That's ridiculous. I really, really hate how people think that they just think in the box. Here's the box. They think in it. And what is in it is someone tried to kill Sam last night. But when you start to unpack the box, you start thinking about all the problems with that theory. Why would they go for someone that definitely visited the armory? Why would they go for Sam when he was probably going to get banished next day anyway? Why would they do that? What's the point? Oh wait, here's a good idea. Maybe they're using it to cover something up, like a recruitment. Somebody did work it out I was surprised at who worked it out, but regardless, I'm just gonna continue, and we're gonna come back to that a little bit later. Circle back to that, because honestly, my respect for this person has gone up a little bit. They're gonna die, but like, my respect has gone up for them a little bit. Guys, we just hit 500 subs a couple of days ago, so I'm gonna let you guys off. You guys are good. You guys actually surprised me. That snuck up on me. I didn't expect it so soon. I was aiming for end of Feb with that, but start of Feb, little juicy present for myself. So thank you very, very much. But now let's not slack. Come on, guys. You can get me to 600 by the end of March. Come on, you can do this. I believe in all of you. If you get there early, even better. I'll set you another goal, and then we'll just keep setting goals and keep going. So if you like what you're seeing, make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, make sure you comment, and I will see you guys in the video right now. The mission was fairly simple. There were barrels around an area. They had to break open said barrels, find keys inside, bring them back to Hannah and Sarah, who were locked up, and that was pretty much the challenge. There was 30,000 Australian dollars on the line, and I gotta be honest, it was quite an entertaining challenge. I did not find myself being bored, and that was mostly because Hannah and Sarah are an unlikely comedy duo, but they are actually quite funny, and I did appreciate that whilst watching it. However, my main problem with this challenge was the fact that it was a bit of a waste of time, I guess. I mean, it got the money, but like, it just felt like it was like, oh, just go to the barrels, bash them open, find the keys, and come back. There wasn't a lot to the challenge. Even though I enjoyed myself, there just wasn't a lot to it. And yeah, I was going to say I found myself getting bored, but I literally said I didn't. So, chatting shit as usual. But we do move on to the shield mission, and the shield mission was a lot more interesting and a lot more exciting. I really do like the fact that they do have like missions for the shield, and it's not just like the winning team get it. It's like they actually have to do something. The only caveat to that is we know who wins it, and everyone knows who wins it. So they had to do an axe throwing competition. Yeah, some people were much better than others. The way that the the promo for this episode made it look was that Blake and Sam were going against each other. That is not at all what happened. In fact, Blake went for Sam, and then no, Blake went for Liam, and then Blake was the first person out, so he only got to throw like 1 or 2 axes. So honestly, the real dark horse here was Keith. Keith is an axe throwing maniac. He's so good, and I really, really didn't expect it. Sam was also predictably very good at this, like he's good at everything frustratingly, but Keith managed to knock him out the game. And in fact, everyone was knocked out the game. Keith was left standing, and he ended up winning the shield. So you know what? Big applause to him. Big applause indeed. I was very, very impressed with him. Yeah, you get my respect, dude. I think one of the most frustrating things about this series of the Traitors is everyone is far too quick to jump on a bandwagon to vote someone out. In the UK version, it's very unlikely that people will be campaigning for votes or being like, we're voting this today, are you with us, before you get into the round table. The round table is kind of the opportunity where the heat lamps are on, everyone's sweating, and you're just thinking, oh, who could it possibly be? And then based on that, or based on your suspicions beforehand, you vote. Whereas this very much feels like a campaign. Like, you are trying to get the votes in order to get someone out. The game doesn't work when it's like that. And I think that's why this series is so, like, unsatisfying. I'm so dissatisfied with it, is because it's such an odd way of playing the game. And if you notice, it's very much a gameplay strategy that Sam started. The whole, okay, I've got this number, I've got this number, I've got this number, let's get Ash out. It's just a play that I don't think is very fun to watch. because I'm sitting here now and I'm like, oh, so the vote tonight is going to come down to Keith or Liam. And one group of people are saying Keith and the other group of people are saying Liam. And now Sam's trying to get the traitors on side to vote Keith. But Blake doesn't really want to vote Keith, and neither does Camille, but they're kind of doing it just because they know they have to. And so it just becomes this whole mess of people aren't thinking for themselves. And that's the biggest problem with this kind of game, is that you've got to think as an individual, because and I'm pretty sure Roger said this during the round table, you've got to start thinking for yourself, because anybody around this table, there is a chance that they are a traitor. Nobody is 100% faithful. Nobody is 100% traitor. No one's 100% faithful. That's what I was going with. Everyone could be a traitor at the end of the day. And it's so frustrating that we spent the majority of the sort of deliberation time, let's say, discussing Keith and Liam. And then, in a rather fabulous twist of events, Hannah cracked the code. Hannah worked it all out. She had her map up. She was like, connecting all the dots. I was impressed. Hannah's really shot up in my estimations. And it's because, like, the whole way through this competition, she's been very much led by other people. You get her hilarious looks at the round table that are like, they're so funny. But it's nice to see that she's finally connecting some dots and working things out. And then this was the real clincher. She gathered, just by pure happenstance, the remaining faithfuls in the game. Keith, Liam, Gloria, Sarah, Hannah. She gathered all of them without even knowing or thinking that they're a traitor. And they were like, so... She was like, is anyone suspicious of Sam still? And everyone was like, no, I feel like he's kind of proved himself as a faithful. And then she went, well, what if I told you that a traitor could kill themselves? But obviously with a shield, it's negated. This spun people's minds. Dizzy. Just complete and utter, huh? Because obviously that's something that they never even considered. Hannah must know something about the game, or she must have worked out. They didn't really mention the recruitment angle of it, so I feel like Hannah stumbled upon this rather luckily. But if she had thought about it, then damn, she's made a very, very good play, and she's at an interesting point in the game to make those suspicions known, especially to the people who are all faithful. It's no surprise that, like, Sam has... The only person that has gotten out a traitor so far is Sam. The only person. Every time someone else has led a charge, either against Sam, someone else has been voted out. Every time a faithful has led a charge against someone other than Sam, they've been voted out and they've been faithful. So we need to start looking at the common occurrences. The only person that has gotten a traitor out is what's his face? Sam. So clearly there's got to be something more there. You'd think by the way that everyone was like, oh my god, you're right. Oh my god, this changes everything. This changes literally everything. You'd think that they would talk about it a little bit more than they did at the round table. Ugh, long day. Speaking of, let's talk about the round table, because this was, frankly, another excruciating experience. I've just opened my book, sorry that it popped into camera. So, Blake started by throwing out Keith's name. Keith then was like, look, I can't fake emotion. And Liam went, but what if you can? And Keith was like, I can't. So that was kind of a dead conversation to start off with. This was all to do with Keith's reaction at breakfast time, which, I gotta be honest, bless him, he did seem genuinely upset. He wasn't crying, but like, you could tell that the emotion was getting to him a little bit. And I did feel kind of bad for him, I won't lie. But him and Blake were just going backwards and forwards, being like, look, I think you're a traitor. Is that why I'm here? Like, because you're keeping me here because we're close in this game? What's going on? And Keith was like, I'm thinking the same thing. And then Blake was like, well, maybe we're two faithfuls and the traitors are forcing us against each other. Good play from Blake there, actually. That was a good line, because Keith changed his mind pretty much immediately after hearing that. And this is where it started to get a little bit awkward, because Blake kind of exposed the fact that everybody around the table, apart from Hannah, was trying to convince him to change to voting Keith. And that's when Keith realised, oh fuck, I'm going home. Bless him. Keith, what a gemstone. What an absolute gemstone. And I gotta say, he did do a good job of defending himself. I believed him, but obviously I know he's innocent, so it's like a bit techie. But Hannah did bring up her theory, and she was like, I just wonder why they decided to go for someone who we know was in the armory. There were 4 people yesterday that didn't go into the armory. Why would the traitors pick someone that went into the armory when they might have a shield? That just seems like poor gameplay. And then Hannah was like, well, maybe it's maybe like the traitor, maybe like, I don't know. And then Gloria chimed in and was like, yeah, actually, that's a very, very good point. I'm going to back that. Yeah, I agree. And then Sarah was like, oh, could it have been a recruitment? Could it have been a recruitment? And I was like, yes, they're finally cracking the code. They did it. And then Gloria was like, I think it's Sam or Blake. And I was like, oh my God, she's cracked it. She finally understands. Gloria, thank God you've woken up. Thank God. And then she said the line that basically finished off the whole round table and said, vote for someone you think is a traitor. That's the whole point of the game, my lovely. That's literally the whole point. Have you been voting for people that you don't think are traitors? Because, bless you, that might explain some of your votes that you've been making. Oh my goodness. So, when it came down to voting time, Sam went for Keith. Hannah went for Liam. I'm surprised you didn't vote for Sam, but it is what it is. Liam voted for Keith. Gloria voted for Blake. Keith voted for Liam. Camille, Blake, and Sarah all voted for Keith. So there was essentially a 5 vote for Keith, 1 for Liam, no, 2 for Liam, 1 for Blake. Tough times. And I also found that when he was up there, he spilled some tea. He was like, guys, I actually have been lying to you about something. I'm a retired, what did he say? A retired cop, or like agent or whatever. I'm one of the most highly decorated cops in Australia. I've written 2 best-selling books about my time in the armed, in like the police. I used to bust people's doors down with flipping machine guns. I was like, I thought you were just a retired, like, detective. Huh? So now I kind of want to read one of his books, I'll be honest, because they sound very, very cool. So yeah, I will miss you, Keith. I really did enjoy you on the show. You were a bit of a dum-dum sometimes. It's just a shame you didn't cotton on to the fact that it was Sam and Blake a little bit earlier. Blake I'll forgive you for, because he did a good job of hiding himself, I think, so far. But you should have gotten out Sam a long time ago. I'm sorry. Yeah, bit of a tough one. Especially when you voted out Simone and Annabelle just for how they were going after Sam when they were right. Yeah, tough times. So, when it came down to Traitor's Tower, the decision to murder was the only one they had. And the decision came down to Gloria versus Hannah. Both of them have their pros. There aren't really many cons to murdering either of them. I think it's smart to keep Liam in the game. I think it's smart to keep Sarah in the game, because both of them are fucking clueless. Like, genuinely clueless. They don't have a clue what's going on. Hannah and Gloria, they've worked it out. They know it's Sam and Blake. They obviously haven't quite worked out that there's another one in Camille, but they think it's Sam and Blake. So either way, one of them is going to die and the other one is going to be like, rah, maybe we should listen to this person that's just died, because the traitors apparently have a track record of killing people who were right, basically, with Luke and now with Gloria and Hannah. Is what it is. The traitors are playing a very interesting game. I have no choice but to back them because they're going to win. So it's like, once this person dies tonight, it's a 3v3, and at that point, it's over. It's done. The game is wraps, because all they have to do is coordinate an attack on, who is it? It's Sarah. It'll be Sarah, Liam, and either Gloria and Hannah. All they need to do is coordinate an attack, get Sarah and Liam on board, and then they've won the game. They control the votes from there on out. So, like, I feel like it's going to be a very dissatisfying, unsatisfying, not very satisfying conclusion to this series. Or it's going to be a boring finale, one of the two. But that remains to be seen. So, thank you guys very, very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff that you guys do so well. And make sure to get us to 600 subs before the end of March. Come on, guys. You are doing so well. You are supporting my channel every single day with your comments, with your likes, with your subscribingness. So let's keep that moving. So, without much further ado, thank you guys very, very much for watching. Keep on ranting. Bye now.